The night sky over Boom, Belgium pulsed with lights, lasers, and sound. Tomorrowland was in full swing, euphoric wave of music, bodies, and chaos. Among the 400,000 dancing souls was Mira Jansen, 24, a university student from Amsterdam. Her last known sighting was at 2:10 a.m. near the Freedom Stage. Her group had been dancing, laughing, then she had drifted into the crowd. Mira was always the responsible one, the peacekeeper. Her friends often joked that if Mira disappeared, the whole group would fall apart. But no one expected that to be a prophecy. They had arrived on Thursday with matching tents and color-coded packing lists. It was Saturday night, nearing the festival's peak energy. Myra had skipped drinking most of the night, saying she wanted to remember every second. Her last message in the group chat read, "Going to check something near the side stage. Be back soon." At 2:37 a.m., a sanitation worker found her body near a service area behind the Freedom Stage. She was lying half under a plastic tarp, her face angled toward the dirt, eyes wide open and glassy. No immediate sign of injury. Her VIP wristband still glowed under the UV lights, pulsing with residual energy. The worker called security, unsure whether she was asleep, passed out, or worse. Festival security cordoned off the area and called local police. First officers on the scene noted no blood, no wounds, and no signs of a struggle. Her phone was missing. Her ID was found tucked inside a small fabric pouch around her neck. A festival map and a drink token were folded inside. Nearby, there were no signs of a scuffle. No drag marks, no vomit. It's just a perfectly intact young woman, very much dead. By 3:10 a.m., Inspector Elise De Wilde, mid-30s, sharp, no nonsense, was on site. She immediately ordered the area sealed and the festival's private surveillance logs pulled. Elise had dealt with festival-related overdoses before: bad pills, panic attacks, even a stabbing 2 years prior. But something about this scene felt ... staged. Too clean, too quiet. Coroner pronounced her dead at the scene. Estimated time of death, between 2:15 and 2:25 a.m. Elise crouched by the tarp. No trauma, no defensive wounds. Could be poisoning or something worse. The music throbbed in the distance. Somewhere, thousands were still dancing. Lights painted the sky with neon flame. But in this corner, there was only silence. As Elise stood, she noticed the faint outline of a boot print near Mira's feet. It was faint, but distinct. Heavy tread, possibly military or tactical in design. Not something you'd expect at a dance festival. She had the forensics team document everything, though the humidity and foot traffic would soon erase all trace. One of Myra's friends arrived minutes later, sobbing into the shoulder of a paramedic. Elise gently pulled her aside. The girl, Anauk, was shaking. She said she was meeting someone. She whispered. Some DJ guy. Said it was a private set. We didn't think it was weird. Quoi? Do you know who she met? Anauk shook her head. Quoi? She just pointed to the back of the Freedom Stage. Said someone would be waiting by the fence. Elise took that and started walking. Behind the Freedom Stage was a labyrinth of equipment storage. Water lines, catering supplies, and tents labeled with crew codes. She knew if anyone wanted to do something in secret, this was the place. A makeshift city behind the main event. In a shadowed corner, she found a camera, private, elevated lens, belonging to the stage rigging crew. She made a note to request that feed first, and a direct view of the fenced-off path. She had a feeling this was not an accident, not a party gone wrong. This was something intentional, something calculated. Myra hadn't just wandered off, she had been led. Backstage, Elise reviewed early footage with Security Chief Bram Bandel. The quality was poor, too many blind spots, and the cameras often shook from bass vibrations. Still, they managed to trace Mira's path. One shot from 2:12 a.m. showed her entering a fenced-off Stathony path near the stage, escorted by a man in a dark hoodie. Zoom in, the resolution struggled. His face was obscured by the hood. It's the only distinguishing feature. A tattoo on his left hand. Crescent moon between thumb and forefinger. Who is he? Artist? Tech? Security? No staff wristband, Bram noted. Could be an impersonator. Elise's brow furrowed. Why would she follow him? They rewatched the footage. The man had gestured urgently. Mira hesitated, then nodded. Trust, familiarity. She either knew him or believed she did. By 9 a.m., Myra's blood work confirmed scopolamine in combination with alcohol and MDMA, a deadly mix. Known for rendering victims suggestible, even unconscious, while still mobile. Often used in devil's breath overdoses in South America for robberies, kidnappings, even sexual assault. They canvassed her campsite. Friends were shaken. Mira had left briefly to meet someone about an after-party. One friend said. She didn't say who. Elise opened a digital forensics request. Mira's phone had last pinged at 2:14 a.m., near the Freedom Stage. They issued a geofence warrant to track all devices that pinged in a 5-meter radius of her final location within a 10-minute window. The analysis began immediately. One MAC address stood out, an unregistered burner phone. The device ID had no carrier, no IMI trace, and had moved identically to Mira's for 2 minutes before diverging toward the food court. Security staff combed through bins in that area. At 11:15 a.m., they found it. A cheap disposable phone, battery removed, but intact. Inside, one text thread. I see you. Come to the fence. Trust me. Can I bring my friends? No. Just you. Okay? I'm coming. The texts were time-stamped minutes before her death. The number was untraceable. The SIM had been wiped. But the casing bore a partial fingerprint. That partial print changed everything. The partial fingerprint matched a known offender, Lucas Neyman, 28, a Belgian national with a long list of petty drug charges and ties to underground rave scenes across Europe. No convictions, no prison time, but well known in nightlife circles as a fixer. Lucas had never applied for accreditation to Tomorrowland, yet surveillance cross-reference with ID scans showed him entering the festival with a counterfeit vendor badge 2 days earlier. Inspector Elise De Wilde reviewed everything they had on Lucas' associates, known addresses, clubs he'd frequented, former employers. He was slippery, often operating under aliases and burner numbers, always one step ahead of the system. But now they had a match and probable cause. By 13:45 that afternoon, Lucas was spotted by a plainclothes officer at a shuttle stop just outside the festival grounds. He wore a hoodie and oversized sunglasses, nervously glancing at his phone. As officers approached, he ran. He didn't get far. He was tackled and restrained. The arrest was swift and clean. Back at the mobile command station, Elise sat across from Lucas in a temporary interview tent. The heat was stifling, and the sound of distant music still vibrated through the canvas walls. Lucas was defiant, twitchy. His eyes scanned the exits, never quite meeting hers. You know Myra Jansen? Elise asked. No, you have your print on a burner phone that was used to lure her. You still want to lie? He exhaled. Maybe I sold a phone. I don't know names. Tell me about the tattoo, Elise said. The crescent moon. You were caught on camera with her. You lured her away. He finally looked up. That wasn't me. Elise leaned in. Then who was it? Lucas didn't answer. The forensic team found trace residues of scopolamine under his fingernails. It was enough to issue a formal search warrant for his personal effects. In his rented locker, police uncovered counterfeit wristbands, USB sticks, vials of liquid drugs, festival crew lanyards, and a detailed map of the Tomorrowland layout with handwritten markings near security checkpoints and backstage entries. Still, Elise wasn't convinced Lucas was the killer. There was something missing, something off. She reviewed user-uploaded drone footage from social media influencers. tracking time-stamped moments between 2 o'clock and 2:30 a.m. One video caught a glimpse of Myra staggering past the food stalls, clutching her abdomen. Then a figure emerged behind her hooded, taller, leaner than Lucas. And unlike Lucas, this figure wore a white sweatshirt with a recognizable symbol, a stylized eye surrounded by spikes. Elise froze the frame. The emblem belonged to Reactor 13, an illegal techno label with a reputation for rogue raves, psychoactive drugs, and dangerous crowd manipulation. Their music was rumored to include subliminal frequencies. Elise dug deeper. Reactor 13's founder, Amir Saig, 34, had been questioned multiple times in connection to illegal events across Belgium, the Netherlands, and Germany. Never charged. He was known for traveling under false identities and for hosting secret sets. During major festivals, hidden performances only announced through encrypted message boards and code-based invites. "Did you work for Amir?" Elise asked Lucas during a second interrogation. "No." "Then, why do you have Reactor 13 markings on your maps?" Silence. "You lured Myra to him, didn't you?" Lucas stared blankly. He said it was just for the experience. "A trip." He said she'd be fine. The final lead came from an anonymous tip on an underground forum frequented by Reactor 13 fans. The post was short. Room 313. They test new stuff there. Last night was the silence drop. She wasn't the first. Room 313 wasn't listed on any official map. With the help of festival organizers, Elise discovered it referred to a mobile studio trailer parked in a restricted area behind the Dreamville section. It had been moved there the day before Myra's death. Elise and a tactical unit raided it. Inside, soundproofed walls, blacked-out windows, and equipment designed for immersive audio experiences, custom headphones, sub-bass floor panels, and a central console rigged with audio modulation software. Several used vials were found on a tray, next to a broken mirror. The laptop inside had a single encrypted folder. With cyber support, they unlocked partial chat logs. Keywords included test subject, non-consensual, threshold, and reactive state. Mira's name wasn't there, but a timestamp matched the moment she entered the trailer. Lucas identified the space as Amir's. He liked to push people past their limits, Lucas said. Called it the silence behind the beat. Said that if you strip away the noise, people hear themselves for the first time, and it drives them mad. An international alert went out for Amir. He vanished. No border crossings, no transactions, no new sightings. A week later, Elise received a call from Prague. A man matching Amir's description had been found dead in the restroom of a techno club. Overdose. No ID, but on his left forearm, the same Reactor 13 emblem. Elise closed the file. Cause of death: manslaughter by induced overdose. Case technically solved. And yet, it didn't sit right. It's too clean. Too easy. The following year, Elise attended Tomorrowland undercover. Not to party, but to observe. She wore plain clothes, stayed near the same area. At 2:37 a.m., she stood at the exact place Myra was found. A bass drop echoed across the valley. And for a second, just a second, she thought she heard someone whisper, "Come to the fence. Just you." Then the music returned, and the crowd kept dancing.